Okay, in this video, we are going to be working on solving two-step equations. If you don't remember how to solve one-step equation, there is a link that will get you to another video that you can watch first. But if you do remember how to solve a one-step equation, then let's jump right into solving two steps. Last year, we talked about how your variable is connected to whatever it is touching. So in this case, you have 6 and minus 12 equals negative 18. We want to isolate our variable. We want to get it alone. And so we have to do the opposite operation of whatever is happening to it to get it across. Now, if we do it to this side of the equal sign, we have to do it to this side of the equal sign. That's what keeps it equal. So there's two different things that you can start with. Last year, I told you guys, think of the variable and whatever is connected to it as you and your best friend. And then you have the stranger in the car. Well, you're gonna wanna get rid of the stranger before you drop off your best friend, okay? So the idea is that you are working furthest away from your variable and slowly getting things away from it until it is alone. So because 6 is connected to n, we'll do that last. So we are getting rid of a negative 12. We do the opposite. Opposite of a negative is a positive. So we'll add 12 to that side. We'll add 12 to that side. It's gone from this side. Negative 12 plus 12 is 0. So that's how we get rid of it, is we zero it out. Still over here, we have 6n. Now, negative 18 plus 12 is a negative 6. I still have something with my variable. I still need to get it to the other, get my variable alone. So whatever is with it, I need to do the opposite operation. It is currently timesing, so opposite of multiply is divide. If I divide this side by 6, I have to divide this side by 6. So n will equal negative 1. If you plug it back up in here, you can see that it works. You want to check it. 6 times a negative 1 is a negative 6. Minus 12 does equal that negative 18. So you're welcome to check it. Most of you don't, but it's always available. All right. Another one, 10 minus 5y is equal to a negative 30. Now, your variable is connected to this negative 5, so we hold on to that. Now you see this 10 out here. Don't think for a second that what's behind it will influence this. That 10 is a positive. How do you get rid of a positive number? You do the opposite. Opposite of a positive is a negative. So we will subtract 10 from this side. So we will subtract 10 from this side. That negative is connected to this 5, and they're connected to the y, all right? So when we bring it down, negative 5y, always keep that sign in front, all right? We'll bring this down, and then over here, a negative 30 minus 10, I have two negatives that I'm combining to get a bigger negative number. So that will give me a negative 40. Now, when I am dividing this, because right now my y is being multiplied by a negative 5, I can only change one operation. So I want to divide it by a negative 5. I am changing multiplication into division to get rid of it. Also, a negative divided by a negative gets me a positive number. Okay, you can't be switching two things. You shouldn't do change the multiply to a divide and change the positive to a, or the negative to a positive. You can only change whatever's happening to your variable. Okay, I'll show you something over here if you forget to take that negative with you. So we have a negative 5 divided by negative 5. Over here we need to divide it by a negative 5. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Now, let's say you don't take your negative with you. a lot of times if you don't take it with you, you kind of forget about it and you'll do y is equal to a -8. Do you see how that worked? But it didn't go anywhere. It would actually still be attached right here. So you have to be careful when it comes to the signs. If you don't divide it like over here like you should, it would still be attached to your variable. Now, if you wanted to get rid of it from here, you can just take it and multiply everything by a -1. Timesing by a negative changes our signs. Timesing by 1 does not change the value of the numbers. So negative times a negative is a positive, 1 times y is y. Negative times a negative is a positive, 1 times 8 is 8. So if you do find yourself with that negative variable, just remember this little trick, okay? It'll get you what you needed in the first place. I'm going to erase this. And let's do another couple. So if I have -24 plus 6x is equal to -6, my variable and what's connected to it is right here. If you need to circle it, that's fine, do that. It lets us know what else we need to get rid of it. So we need to get rid of whatever is still on that side of the equal sign. How do we get rid of a -24? Do the opposite. Opposite of a negative is a positive. So we add 24 to this side of the equal sign. We need to add 24 to this side of the equal sign. You have a negative and a positive. You have more positives. How many more positives? You have 18 more positives. So your answer is going to be a +18. And that still is a +6x. Now, there it's multiplying. So to get rid of multiply, we do the opposite, which is divide. So we'll divide there. And we'll get x is equal to 3. Now the next two I want to show you because they have to do with division. And I want to show you the difference of what is connected to your variable. So x divided by 10 plus 3 is equal to 9 versus x plus 3 divided by 10 is equal to 9. In this case, x is connected to divided by 10. And as I read it, it said x divided by 10 is equal to 3. So as you read it, you'll hear what's connected with it. Now over here, we have x plus 3 divided by 10. You'll see that this is connected to your variable. So this is what I'm going to do last over here, and this is what I'm going to do last over here. So hopefully you see the difference there. So I'm going to do them one at a time now. This is what I'm going to do last. So I have to get rid of this plus 3. So I'm going to -3. I'm -3 from this side. I still have I still have x over 10 is equal to 6. Okay. Now I want to get rid of divide by 10. Opposite of divide is times. So times it by 10. Times it by 10, x is equal to 60. And that's how it goes whenever it's only connected to your variable. Now, if everything is being divided by 10, that's the first thing we want to get rid of. So opposite of divide by 10 is to multiply by 10. So I'll times this by 10 as well. So we'll have x plus 3 is equal to 90. Now, I want to get rid of my -3. It was what was connected to my variable up here. I do the opposite in order to get rid of it. I have x is equal to 87. Just so you guys can see kind of the difference of what it'll look like and how you approach it differently too. We'll build on this later because math builds on itself.